Yo people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another review, another disappointing result where I have to face the music, the camera, and tell you what went wrong today, because we can't have anything go right. The rivals are saying that we are amortizing our goals across the 8 years. It looks like it. We haven't scored again. 0-0 against Fulham at home. Massively disappointing. We should have won again. Not because we deserve to. No. Because we should. We should aim to win games like this. Remember, W settings only. That's what we said. But we drew. We didn't even deserve to win, to be honest. They had much more shots on target. I think we had one, maybe two, with Sterling at the end. One from Thiago Silva, I think. I can't remember. The game was so draggy. I mean, listen. First of all, let's talk about the team and the selection. Now, I had in my preview no Mount, no Gallagher. People went crazy in the comments and they said, wow, how are you dropping both of them? Pretty easily, to be honest. For the majority of that game, they were not great. Now, Gallagher, as the game went on, played a couple of nice passes towards the end with, Reece James combination and a ball in behind for Kai Havertz. Mason Mount had a nice pass to Kai Havertz as well across the face of the goal when Enzo put him in with some really good long ball distribution. And Enzo was good today. He was press resistant. He had really good long balls. He created a few chances and he had a really nice shot that almost went in. But the problem starts for me when I talk about Enzo in this 6 role, in this regista role that he was in today, right? He can do the role, make no mistake. The problem is that the 8s in the team are not, they're not good right now. They're not that good at all. And I've spoken about it before. Dropping Mount, taking him out of the limelight because his performances are not good. Now, I know we have some injuries in midfield, but Carney is right there. Personally, I would have liked to have seen him. Gallagher, I've spoken about his ability before on the ball. Personally, the first touch, these things in tight spaces, again today, the ball's been taken off of him a couple of times. It's just not good enough. And Enzo, I have to say this again. This is why I bang on about Enzo being higher up the pitch and being not shackled and not restricted. And maybe it's a short-term thing that he has to do right now. I thought Loftus-Cheek might be available to pair up in a pivot and be more the defensive-minded one, even though that's not even an ideal situation either. Trevor, you could say, maybe could have played in that DM role. We could go all day about who could have played in that midfield to make it better. But the key here is Enzo. Enzo has shown, and in this game, and will continue to show, that we would like to have him and need to have him higher up the pitch. You don't spend £106 million on a player for them to play as a regista. It just doesn't make any sense. So long term, short term, medium term, I need to be seeing Enzo high up the pitch at all means necessary. If we have a problem with creativity in the team, if we have a problem with passing, final decision making, the amount of passes today that were over and undercooked again, outside of those ones that I mentioned that were actually good, just so many times. I know Fulham, are resilient. I know that they have a nice defensive shape, but you need to be able to play those passes. You need to be able to, not undercook them, not overcook them. Many passes were short today. So many passes, more were short than long. Kai Havertz had a good few opportunities in the first half to score. Yes, again, that lob was a really tough goal, a tough chance to score. Hits the post, that was unlucky. The other one was offside from Silva, thank God, because again, that should be getting tucked in. But again, Mudryk, left-hand side, we didn't get the ball out to him enough. It felt like he was not even on the pitch today. And our play felt very lopsided in the first half, especially. I saw Reece James down the right. I saw Cucurella on the left. Cucurella today, rough, very rough. Not very good at all. You're not overlapping. You're not really underlapping. Then we're tucking you inside like Zinchenko. You're not able to pass the ball down the line without overcooking it. Chilwell comes on. He's rusty. Reece James is obviously rusty today as well. Azpilicueta comes on. He doesn't get injured, thank God. The defense, we kept a clean sheet, cool. But we needed to win the game. We needed to win the game. And it's like, we can't even spend our way out of this. We've already spent, the window's closed. When we used to drop points, we used to look to the transfer window and say, what can we purchase to make ourselves feel better? Todd Bowie's on the phone in the stands. The most entertaining part of my watch along was eating the Jamaican cuisine. That is a Jamaican wonderful patty. That's all I had. I was trying to eat the patty to try and, kind of put together some sort of run for Sterling, get them Jamaican flavors out there for Sterling to rip up shit. And unfortunately, it didn't happen. We had so much coming off the bench. This is not an injury issue. We got too many players. No, we have plenty of players. But I'm still not seeing after 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, I know that chemistry can be hard to find with new players, but we had 3 new players starting in this team, right? We had Mudryk in there who's new, Enzo who's in there who's new, and Badiashile who's new. Gallagher and Mason Mount, you two know each other very well. Thabz, you know each other very well. Ziyech, you know each other very well. Cucurella, Reece James, Rusty, but you all know each other very well. Enzo elevated you, put you on another level, was able to spot those passes and give you that vision. So he only made things better. So that's not going to come into it. 2 weeks, no FA Cup. 2 weeks, what can I see today to say, okay, cool, we're clicking here, we're moving in the right direction. No shots on target for what, the first 75, 70 minutes? At home to Fulham? Really? 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 Come on now. Come on now. This is what I'm talking about when I say walk before we run, in terms of, you know, people are asking us about top 4 and whether we can make that, or 10 game streaks, and oh, you should be able to, no, Champions League, win that. Relax, calma, 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 calma. Let me actually get 3 points inhaled into my immune system. Let me actually know what it feels like to win a football match first before we start talking about all of that. Potter, substitutions, Madueke comes on for Mudryk. I didn't quite get it. I tried to explain it on stream. Maybe he was trying to pull him out to the left, because like I said, Cucurella has given nothing on that left-hand side. Absolutely nothing for his winger. So Mudryk, the build-up play is already very lopsided. Cucurella's not giving nothing down the left. So we're going Mudryk, just isolated. Madueke comes on, gives us a little bit of a spark, left-hand side, stretches out the pitch, plays like a Leroy Sané, and you've got more space in the middle for Gallagher and Mason Mount, who need more time on the ball than they should. So maybe that's the plan, right? And then you tuck in Cucurella and you make him inverted and you give him the Zinchenko role and ask him to do that. That lasted for about 5 minutes, because then Sterling comes on. Like I said, the Aspie substitution is a non-factor. Fofana comes on, he had a chance, cleared off the line. Should be scoring. Huge opportunity, best opportunity of the game, I would say. Should be scoring. But that's why he's young, that's why he's developing, that's why he doesn't always start, right? Because he's young, and that's going to happen. And the same thing happened with Amanda Broja. And I have to say this again. Expect top performances and consistency from the senior players. Expect it from the top players. Don't expect it from Fofana coming off the bench. Don't expect it from Lewis Hall against Liverpool. Don't expect it from Amanda Broja in his first season at Chelsea. Don't expect it from 20, 19, 18-year-olds that they're going to give you, especially not the top talents, right? They got potential, but they're not the 100 million ones. Just expect that. What you just saw with Fofana, expect that. It's when I'm seeing Mason Mount, again, today, nothing. You're playing in the 8, right? You're playing in the 8. You're playing in the 8. You and Gallagher are playing in the 8. And the bare minimum that I ask is some good, strong counter pressing. So I already know with those two as my 8s that they're not going to have the level of passing on a consistent basis, because they gave us some. Very minimal, but they gave us some. On a consistent basis, I'm not getting the creativity. I'm not getting the passing. I'm not getting the weight of passing. So what can I get from you two? Well, if I'm seeing Kai Havertz and Mason Mount and Gallagher just behind, that counter press better be disgustingly good. That counter press better be incredible. We better be making turnover after turnover, and that's how we create our chances. You don't have to create your chances by splitting lines of defense. It would be great, but that's what Enzo's there to do. So if you're not going to do that, then counter press, win the ball high up the pitch, maybe sacrifice a bit of possession, and when Fulham have it in certain areas, press the crap out of them, win it, and then you break, and then you cause problems that way. But that didn't happen enough times. That didn't happen enough times for it to be valuable. It didn't happen enough times for it to be worth them being on the pitch. And we were calling for the substitutions, because if you're not giving us that, and on the ball, you're still not good enough. And like I said, I'd rather have Enzo in one of their positions. I'd like to see Enzo playing where Mason Mount was playing today, if we had a 6 in there. But like I said, sometimes you just got to be like, you know what? Let's not, because cool, we've learned our lesson now. I hope Potter's learned his lesson with Enzo. Enzo's a great player. He can play the 6, but he's best as an 8. He's best. Look at the shot. Look at the quality, the technique. Look at the passing. The guy can do something. He can create for us. This is what we want in the team, right? Creativity. We want somebody who can shoot from distance. So you have that now. Yes, he might be your best 6 available, but let's see if we can maybe, negate for him in by playing a Trevor or whatever in the future game. Let's try and actually get the best out of one of our already gonna probably be our best players. Like let's try and do that, because him as a regista is a non-factor. I don't want to see him doing all the first phase stuff, which he does great, and then he gives the ball into the midfield to the eights, and then they fail the final third pass. That's not what we signed him. That's not what we signed him to be saying and stuff like that. I want to see clear-cut chances being created. I want to see shots on target. I want to see opportunities. That's what I need to see. That's what I want to see. Ziyech started today. Listen, I had Madueke starting. Ziyech deserved to start in terms of form. His head was clearly right to start after the PSG move. He's very predictable. I've said it before. He can have good games. He can have bad games. I've said this with Ziyech. I'm not going to overreact on Ziyech. I'm not even going to talk about Ziyech too much because you know me, I do not rate Ziyech to infinity. I have already said it many times, more than you can believe. So we know when we see Ziyech, he's going to cut in. He's not the quickest. When he tried to use his right foot today, he nearly hit someone in the stands, a poor child. So don't use your right foot ever again. Stay with your left, and we go from there. But yeah, not too much from him today either. So yeah, another game where we drop points. One game at a time continues, and we just move on to the next. But I have to say, we have to improve again. I have to say it because it's like when you look at our starting 11 and you look at who we've got on our bench today, and I'm not even talking about money. I'm not talking about amortizations anymore. We should not be amortizing the points. We should not be getting 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, 3 points. No, I need 3 points. 3 points, 3 points. Not 3 games, 3 points, Chelsea. Okay? Don't amortize the points. Don't amortize the goals. Let's only amortize the players. Saeed said to me, money doesn't buy you happiness. I'm not happy. We have a lot of money. Fair play. Game's the game. Think it's a bit bad timing that I was on Best of Enemies earlier. It is what it is. Wow. Okay, so smash the like, subscribe, leave your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. I cannot wait for the next game. Who do we play? West Ham. Felix will be back. If Felix does not start in one of those advanced areas, Lord Jesus, I tell you now, Felix better be starting, and you better be dropping somebody. Somebody with a purple passport better be dropped. For all that is good in the world, I want to see you have the same energy you had for Aubameyang. Be ballsy, be brave, drop someone. I'm speaking it into the atmosphere. I'm praying to the gods. Do not let me see them two playing together again in them places. And be sure that if it does happen again, Lord Jesus, you better make sure that you have changed their legs or something. You better make sure that they're wearing different boots or something. Got to give them contact lenses or something, because I need to see something different. Something is moving mad for them. I've said it already. I believe that Mason Mount needs to be taken out of this team and needs to be put to the side to rest and incubate. Freeze him. If you ain't going to do it and you're going to keep performing mid, you're going to pay your price. Y'all going to pray. Long. Anyway, I've already outroed the video and for some reason I'm still talking. I'm just so annoyed. I'll see you guys in a bit. Pick up your damn selves. Peace.